Virgo, happy September 2017. Hope everybody is doing fantastic. This is Dark Dove Tarot. Happy birthday, by the way. Some of my favorite people are Virgos, and they know who they are. In fact, a few of them may be watching, and so I'm super excited. Hope you guys have a fantastic month. With that being said, my readings about love and relations generally focus on singles, because those are the people who tend to ask me for information. A lot of people looking to reconcile do as well. So I generally focus on singles, but include people looking to reconcile as much as possible. So again, I hope you're doing fantastic. As you know, I move pretty fast. I have a lot to say, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. This is a general read, so check your sun, moon, and rising. Some months they may resonate with you more than others. Let's see. There we go. All right. Any likes, subscribe, comments are always appreciated. Again, if you want a reading tailored to you, the information is in the description below. And let's get started here. Alright, as usual, I pre-shuffled the cards, but I did add some more energy before we got started here. Okay, so we always start with your current position coming into the month. You know, internally, externally, but basically where you are at this present moment, or starting September 1st, and you have the devil. So the devil is, I'm immediately going to say that could be Capricorn. So you might be dealing with another earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, and the devil does represent Capricorn, so it could be specifically Capricorn. I feel like if you're single, this is kind of telling me that somebody's like forcing their way in, which can be Capricorn energy to a certain extent, because they can be somewhat forceful. But this also deals with, you know, temptation, making choices, vices, addictions. So you yourself could be coming into this month, and it could just be something as hey, I'm ready to party because it's my birthday. And so, yeah, let's have some fun. And you might go overboard this month. You know, I mean, some people do that. You're going to overindulge a little bit. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, as long as it's, you know, moderation and whatnot. But it could mean that some of you have been dealing with, you know, addictions yourself or vices yourself. It could be something like you're trying to quit smoking, or, you know, could even be that you're trying to stop overeating and maybe focus on balancing out and having, you know, getting more exercise, etc. But if you're single, the one thing I am going to warn on this is that this also tells me that some of you have kind of taken a step back. You're not dating as much, because I feel like maybe you've been meeting people who have addictions. A lot of opioids for some reason, which is interesting, because somebody said something to me a month ago about people they've been meeting online having, like, you know, a lot of opioid pill addictions, a lot of people popping pills, which doesn't surprise me, right? Because they say that like half of America's prescribed something. But, you know, just be careful, because there could be somebody that you're dating that you think, hey, everything's great, and you're not quite seeing the bigger picture. It could be that those are just the type of people you're meeting. Like, everybody you go on a date with gets loaded or sloshed, or, you know, pops pills, or, you know, whatever they do. So it's not necessarily a bad card. It also means jealousy. So it could mean that maybe you're tired of, because I'm getting the sense that some of you are just like tired of dating, of online dating, meetup groups. I say that in every read, for every sign, because I mean, more than half, probably 80% of the single people I know are online dating, or they've taken a break. And I feel like you're kind of in that limbo where you could take it or leave it. You know you don't need to be with somebody, but you're definitely not going to settle for any bullshit. And I feel like the devil's saying you seem to like repeatedly meet the same type of person over and over. And you're just looking for somebody fun to hang out with, somebody low-key, you know, no drama, no stress. And you're coming in this month kind of like, you know, well, maybe I'll just have fun. Maybe I'll just go out and get laid. And I know that may sound terrible, and some of you may not feel that way at all, but I think everybody can get to that point occasionally where they're just like, well, screw it, let's just have fun, because everybody I'm meeting is, you know, has problem after problem after problem, and it's my birthday month, and so I want to just, you know, have some fun. So if you're looking to reconcile, this straight up says that somebody you've been dealing with, there's a lot of issues with vices, jealousy, insecurities. It could be you, but I get the sense it's somebody you're dealing with. However, I almost get the sense it was somebody you were dealing with and you guys were both doing it. Like you were both drinking a lot, or you were both doing drugs, or you were both, it could be sex addiction and whatnot. And you've like stepped out of it, and that's maybe the reason you're separated. Again, it doesn't always have to be addiction and whatnot. It could just be jealousy. And it could be you're dealing with somebody very jealous. Because Virgos that I know don't tend to get jealous unless there's a reason. Like, yes, Virgos can be very jealous. I've dated a Virgo. I've dated a few Virgos. And one in particular was pretty jealous. And then one in particular was not jealous at all. But I also know some Virgos, and they only get jealous or protective or defensive or kind of that, gotta see what they're up to if they've been burned. And so I feel like some of you may have been burned, and the devil's showing that you're feeling this, well, I love you, I might want to get back together with you, but you're being shady, and I don't deal with shady, because Virgos don't deal with shady very well at all. Although, ironically, Virgos can be very shady. So anyways, if you're looking to reconcile, this tells me that you're maybe not off on the right foot. And you may not even be in contact with this person because they may be off doing these devilish things. The next card you have is any challenges that may help, or challenges that may help or hinder your coming into the month devil. And you have Judgment, which doesn't really help or hinder necessarily. Judgment is judgment. That's what it is. So if you're single, you are judging people. You are judging people you're meeting because you are like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm meeting, it may feel like, Virgo, you're just on the crazy train this month coming into September. You're like, what is going on with the world? What is going on with people? And you're having to pass judgment. And, you know, not in a conceited, like, I'm better than you way, but like, hey, nope, you know, we can go to the bar once a week, but you go to the bar every night. Peace. Bye, Felicia. This is also looking back and taking time for yourself. So if you're single, I think this is you kind of saying, I don't want to be around this type of behavior, and so I'm going to look back at a time when it was peaceful, when it was nice, when I felt good with somebody, and see what it was, see what type of situation I was in to make that happen, to get that peace, to feel that way. And so you're doing a lot of self-reflection this month on how do I get rid of the crazies, and how do I get back into a normal routine, and you're judging yourself too. And Virgos tend to do that, and I don't want you to do that, but I know Virgos are harder on themselves than probably anybody. And I mean, a Virgo's harder on themselves than anybody else could possibly be hard on them. And I think that you're looking back going, what did I do wrong? Where have I gone wrong in the past with relationships? What do I need to work on within myself? Which is actually not un-Virgo, but it's very, I tend to notice that if I say this, everybody's going to be like, what? But that, like, self-reflection is not your thing. That you guys are fixers, right? And you want to make everything better, and you want to fix things, and that's great. But sometimes you need to fix them inside you, and you don't take that very well sometimes. And actually, it's kind of an earth sign thing, because Taurus and Capricorn don't take that very well either. And I think this month you are kind of going, I'm 1 year older, right? And I'm single, and I haven't found what I want, or I've had it in the past, or I've had crazy relationships in the past, or things, and I don't even know that I've had a really healthy, like, serious love relationship. And I think some of you Virgos are kind of delving into that. I do want to I'm just asking that you're very careful this month, because I feel like some of you may take some of the partying and stuff to an extreme. And so I feel like you're going to kind of like, I don't give a shit. And if you're single, I feel like maybe some of you have been hurt. Maybe you started dating people and it wasn't working. Maybe you tried to reconcile, it didn't work. And you know that you need to make some changes in yourself. But, like, don't go too crazy. Have fun, right? You can overindulge a little bit, but don't, like, that makes me nervous. If you're looking to reconcile, you are passing judgment. You are saying, this is what you did. I have the right to feel this way, and we are not getting back together until you can get your crap together and figure it out. Again, I think a point to be taken if you're looking to reconcile is very similar, that you have some things to fix about you. But Virgo, I really feel like this month is more like the other person is being kind of crazy. If you're looking to reconcile, the other person has problems. And if they have these type of problems, those are serious problems. And those need to be fixed before anything happens with that. But if you're looking to reconcile, I do feel like you are reflecting back on how you were in the relationship, but you're also passing judgment. So we'll see what the rest of the cards say, but it's almost like you're pointing fingers, but then, like, you need to point one back at you. Not saying that it's your fault by any means, because this month I don't really feel like Virgo should should have the heavy hammer, so to speak. I think that this month is going to be lighter on the blame game for you, just because I think other people around you are acting a little crazy. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past few years, could be 10 years, and you have the 5 of coins. This is about loss. This is about feeling destitute. I always read this with singles and reconciliation together, because generally people looking to reconcile, this is past relationships before the one you're currently wondering about. Although it could be the same. But the 5 of coins is sad. It's deep despair. It's depression. Almost that depression where you can't think straight. You can't feel that anxiety that just turns your stomach to knots. So this is, some of you lived poverty when you were young, and you just vowed that you're never going to be that way. And Virgos don't tend to be, because they kind of seem to, like, learn from their mistakes or learn from, like, their past and those behaviors. Although you can take it to another extreme, because Virgos work really hard, and that's excellent, but sometimes the focus can be more on getting the job done than having any emotional tie to it, if that makes sense. So the 5 of coins tells me some of you went through very impoverished times, very destitute times where you had nothing, and you're like, I don't want that for my kids. I'm not going through that. And I think this month you are remembering those times, and that may be pushing you a little bit towards this type of behavior, because it's not that you're falling back in those footsteps at all. I don't see you guys out there like destitute and impoverished. I'm sure some people would be like, hey, I'm broke all the time. I get that. But this destitution and poverty that the 5 covers is like homeless shelters, living in cars. And, you know, I actually have a really close friend who grew up in similar situations like that, and she's a Virgo. And I know what it's like to be on that end, not to that extreme, but, you know, I've lived with a single parent and stuff like that. And, you know, it can affect how you feel about certain things. It can affect, you know, remembering those issues can be very hard. And since Virgos aren't as open with their emotions sometimes as other people, when things like that come up, your past, it can trigger other behaviors that maybe normally wouldn't be present. This also tells me that some of you, you know, had a relationship that ended, or lost a parent that you cared about, and it almost, you know, like took your world away. You watch some of you watched parents lose other parents and loved ones. Again, the 5 could cover a plethora of things, but it's just about an emptiness, a loss, that you can't get back. And sometimes you go into a place of darkness every once in a while that it's almost like you need to go there to come out back into the light. And that's how you process this, just like grabbing your heart, wanting to sob like a baby type situation. And then you get over it. It's like you dwell for a minute and then you get over it. And everybody dwells on their past a little bit. Anybody who says that they get over the past and they never regret anything, and they never, to a certain extent, but we all have memories. Eventually they get jogged at one point or another and you feel that pain. So Virgo, if you're feeling anything intense, you know, or whatnot, it may have to do with things that you went through in your past. And again, this month it's going to feel maybe a little stronger than other months. The next card you have is your immediate past. So the past few weeks, past month or two, and you have the Nine of Wands. So that tells me that even if you have been feeling this way, and even if you do go into this type of behavior for a little bit, this judgment is going to be mainly judging you, and you're not going to allow yourself to fall into anything too crazy. But the Nine of Wands is about stamina. It's about making things happen. It's about being capable. I mean, those hands are capable of holding fire. That's like rock solid. And so a lot of you the past few weeks and past month or two are just kind of like, whatever you're faced with, you can get through. If you're single, I really do think you're meeting a plethora of people like this, or you're meeting people who are just jealous, or people who want your attention. Again, something about that Capricorn keeps coming up. Maybe you're meeting, you know, a Capricorn who, but then the wands are fire energy, right? So maybe it's a Leo, you know, an Aries. These people are, you know, can be very compulsive. Every sign can be compulsive to a certain extent, but fire sign can be very, you know, like very intense. And so I think that the past few weeks and past month or two, maybe you've been dating and you're either getting really intense people who are like, let's jump into it and let's, you know, have a relationship and ooh, or you're getting like these jealous people, or you're just getting crazy people. I don't know why, Virgo. I just keep getting the sense that you're meeting people and you're just like, I'm more than capable of being in a relationship. I'm more than capable of, like, you know, making somebody happy and having fun and doing fun things. But at the same time, like, I only have so much stamina. I only have so much patience. I only have so much time that I want to give to somebody, unless it's like the whole package. And I kind of feel like a lot of Virgos that are single are like, where are these people? Because I've met them in the past. I've had this before. You know, it's like you're ready to take on the world, but everybody else around you is like losing, you know, losing their marbles. I don't know why it keeps coming up that like you just are meeting really interesting characters. If you're looking to reconcile, this is you in your own right saying, I am capable. I have the strength to deal with anything, whether we reconcile or not. You know, and again, it could be this jealous person. It could be somebody who's almost like borderline stalkery. You know, again, it could be you feeling that way and being kind of stalkery. But again, like I said, Virgo, I get the sense like you're off the hook this month. Somebody's crazier than you. Not that you're all that crazy. Just somebody's behaving very strangely. Again, if you're looking to reconcile, the 9 just says, you know, you have the strength to get through this. If you are dealing with somebody who had addictions or, you know, issues and they're trying to get help, you're gonna, this almost says like you'll be there for them, but maybe you didn't realize how bad it got or how like rock bottom they were. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is choices. This is about making decisions. This is about making choices that are going to lead you in one direction, or you're going to feel like you're going to stalemate. So unfortunately, Virgo, I don't know that your dating life is going to get like much better at this point, just because the 2 says, look, my hands are tied. I want to make a decision, but I'm not sure what. So immediately this tells me like some of you had prospects or had people in mind and you just didn't want to put in the time or energy, or you were just kind of like, nothing's ever worked. like almost like you gave up on it, and now you're kind of like, well, now I see what it takes to be in a relationship, what they wanted. Now I know what an adult relationship looks like. Now I know how relationships actually work. Some of you had to like really do some self-improvements and maybe looked around you and noticed, like, what does this person's relationship look like? Well, if I want a happy, healthy relationship with another human being, what does that take? And who's healthy for me? I think that's the biggest question that Virgo's going to ask themselves over the next few months is, you know, I have choices to make, and the choice is mine, right? Especially if you're single, you don't have to stick with anybody. You can be single and stay single, or you can, you know, choose to be with somebody. And I really think that's almost like the choice you're deciding on. Not even like you're deciding on two people. You're deciding on whether you really want to be single or whether you want to be with somebody. And I think some of you are kind of like, maybe the universe is not providing that person for you right now because you're just not there. You're just not at the point where, I mean, relationships take effort, and I kind of feel like some Virgos are like, just want to have fun. Like, let's chill. Let's not get too serious. Let's hang out. Eventually, to have the relationship and the love and that type of life you want, you know, you're going to have to take certain steps to get there. But you don't have to. I mean, you could be single for the rest of your life. It's nobody's business. If you're happy, that's what makes sense to you, then do it. Nobody's in the driver's seat. You are. And I really feel like you're making the decision on, do I want to pursue anything serious right now? I think the only thing that's going to, like, kind of put you in a stalemate position, which the Two of Wands can represent, is you got to make sure you're being upfront and open with the people you're dealing with. Because if you're not, then you're going to get that Capricorn energy. Then you're going to get somebody trying to force themselves in or trying, you know, you got to be careful. Don't say one thing and do another. Like, be full on, hey, I want to date, but I may date 5 other people. I want to date, but I'm not going to call you every day. Whatever it is that you want, you've just got to be clear. But I really think, Virgo, it may be time right now for you to just take a chill pill, relax, hang out. If things aren't going the way that you want them to, then there may be a reason, right? And it may just be the universe's way of saying, hey, there's all these crazies out here, so go back as the hermit and hide in your little cave for a little while, and then things will get better. I think you're going to have fun this month, though. This devil that I said be cautious of is actually kind of fun this month. I think you are going to let loose, relax. Maybe you will have, like, more indiscretions as far as, like, little more lustful relationships. You may do things that you haven't done in a long time. It doesn't have to be about drugs, alcohol, etc. It just means be careful. If you're looking to reconcile, I feel like you may come to a stalemate because of the two. You may just come to a point where it's not going anywhere. But there's other factors. You know, it's like a duality in the fact that you need to make changes and they need to make changes and nobody's making changes. So right now it's just sitting still. And I don't know that in the distant future it's going to change, because this is your distant future card. So unless you make big changes and they make big changes, I just don't know that it's going to go anywhere. The next card you have is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks in September, and you have the Queen of Cups, which is all about mystery and romance. So it's actually about spirituality as well, and kind of like almost being on a different planet, which Virgo, for some reason this month seems like that may be like what's going on here. The Queen of Cups is about not knowing, not needing to know, not forcing it, not wanting answers, just not giving a shit. And Virgo, I really get the sense that a lot of you are feeling like that this month. You're going, my birthday's coming up. I don't give a crap. This is my month. I'm going to do what I want. I'm not dealing with the serious stuff. We'll get to that next month. And that's exactly what the Queen is saying. Nothing negative about that. Have fun. Enjoy it. The Queen is saying, you know, this is a mysterious time for you. Maybe you'll find somebody amazing, or maybe you'll just continue to date different people and just run with it. See what happens. Right now it's just saying that there's nothing right around the corner that's going to be like They're going to meet your twin flame. Just right now, unfortunately, if that's what you're hoping for, that's not what this spread is saying. This is telling me that some of you are going to find like a spirituality in yourself that maybe you've been missing. Maybe you've been feeling this energy for the past few months, and you're going to kind of come out of it. Your birthday's hitting. You're going to go, wow, you know, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? Some deep questions may be coming, and you may look deep inside yourself to find the answers. If you're looking to reconcile, I think everything is up in the air. Unfortunately, I really think that you are not going to get the answer that you want right this second. We'll see what the rest of the cards say, but I really, unfortunately, think the Queen is saying it could go either direction. The next card you have is future external factors. So anything that you're going to see or witness or feel throughout the month of September, and you have the Star, which is a beautiful card. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's one of the most positive, and this is about hope, about feeling good, about inspiration, about self-esteem. So, Virgo, I think that you might be up and down this month a little bit, feeling in a slump, then not in a slump, that I don't give a shit attitude, but then the next minute you may meet somebody who inspires you. And you may not meet somebody, you may go do something, take a hike, take a staycation, go on a birthday trip, something like that. And all of a sudden, something's going to come in this month. And I don't know that it's a person or love, but something is going to inspire you. Maybe it's a camping trip. Maybe it's just looking up at the stars. Maybe something is going to inspire you and give you that self-fulfillment again. Make you feel like there's a purpose in this dating world. Make you feel like there's a reason to find love. Make you remember when you enjoyed being with the company of another person. And I think that's going to kind of turn around your attitude a little bit this month into, well, I don't have to get into anything right this second, but I do better when I love somebody, can be loved, and when I'm giving love, if that makes sense. And so externally, I really do feel like some of you are going to go on a trip or do something, and you're going to become one with nature, or you're going to fall in love with a new type of art, or you're going to, you know, whatever. Maybe it's the ultimate dream trip. But something's definitely going to sway you to remember what you love about other people and what you love about love and romance and dating and just life in general. If you're looking to reconcile, maybe you will be contacted. Maybe they will contact you. And I just repeated myself, so that really tells me that most Virgos are going to be contacted by their exes, although some of you may feel that hope and inspiration and contact somebody else. But either way, whatever it is, for a glimpse, and I say a glimpse just because your future looks like it's still going to be kind of trying and decisions to be made. But there is going to be some sort of hope. But I think that this Star is hope regardless of whether you're going to get back together or whether you're not. Because I think this is saying either way, you're going to be okay. And something is going to profoundly hit you this month, and you're gonna understand that in a way you probably haven't understood in a long time. So you know now that whatever the healthiest choice for you is okay. You're gonna be okay, and you're gonna get through it, and you're gonna feel good about yourself. The next card you have is internal factors throughout the month of September, and you have Justice. So Justice is about cause and effect. This is about risk reward. This is about absolute. So this does tell me that some of you may have this behavior at some point in the month. It may have this type of effect to a certain extent, but you're also going to feel this. So Justice is telling me kind of whatever you do, whatever you reap, you're going to sow, right? And vice versa. So it's almost like a yin and a yang. You're going to have some ups and downs this month, and you're going to be noticing that certain actions will produce certain results and certain actions will produce other results. So if you're single, you're definitely going to realize like the type of people that like, if you just, I don't give a crap attitude, and I'm going to, you know, maybe get physical with people or go out and drink too much or whatever, those people that you attract when you're doing that are not the people. They're in the same bucket you are, right? Riding in the same boat. So You are going to get what you put out in the universe, point blank. And that's what justice is saying. Whatever you put out there comes back to you. So if you're looking for love, or if your heart's desiring love, but you're behaving like a bachelor or bachelorette out there getting hosed, those are the type of people you're going to meet, and they're probably not going to be long lasting. And since this is internal, this is you throughout the month going, well, I noticed when I did this weekend, it didn't really benefit me. So what about if I got out in nature and did a hike or something, and then I get this result? If you're looking to reconcile, you're absolutely looking for absolutes. Justice is all about, you are looking for, you want to make a decision, you want an answer. It's going to be up to you, but it's also going to be up to your ex. But you want to know once and for all, can we make this work or can't we? And you're either going to have to pick up the phone and just blatantly, what are we doing? We ever getting back together? Because we got to clear the air. If we're not, I don't want to think about you, don't think about me. Hope everything's well. If we are, let's do this. Like, let's, all cards on the table, no pun intended. Let's do this. The next cards you have are your hopes and fears for the outcome of September. And you have Temperance and your actual outcome for September, and you have the Fool. All right, so Temperance is about balance, moderation. It's about being patient. So you may come into the month feeling like this, but by the end of the month, you're going to be hoping to feel a little more like this. If you're single, this is about balance, moderation. So you will be slowing it down. So maybe you do pick things up for your birthday. Maybe you do let yourself get a little crazy. You have that I don't give a shit attitude again. But you're going to balance it out. Virgos are very good at that. Virgos are very good at saying, nope, I got enough. Or I'm good. Or I'm not doing that anymore. They're very good at, you know, making that compromise, but that compromise within themselves. And that's what you will be doing if you're single. You will be going, okay, that was fun, but now back to reality. And you'll be going, all right, well, everything in moderation. So that makes me feel much better. Because here I was starting to think some of you are going to develop some serious drug and alcohol problems. Although, I mean, some of you might, or some of you maybe already have. But this says some of you are going, nope, all right, I had fun. Like I said, you know, live it up and then let it go, get back to reality. And but like I said, Virgos, doesn't take that long. And I think even with your dating life, like maybe you'll fly off the handle and you'll be like, I'm just going to have a one night stand. I'm going to do all this stuff and whatever. And towards the end of the month, you're going to be like, okay, it was too much for me. You know, it was too overwhelming, too much to take on. I am going to date, but it's not going to consume my life, and it's not going to get out of hand. If you're looking to reconcile, you may be starting to realize that you can come to some kind of compromise, again, with changes happening. But I think that you have a little bit of a long road ahead of you if you're looking to reconcile. I'm sorry, I just do. I really think that you might just need to have that honest phone call and say, it's one way or the other. Like, I can't do this. We both care about each other. We both have a good connection. This is what I need, point blank, and this is what you need, point blank. Can we get there? Yes, no. I know it's not always that easy, but I think some of you don't say exactly what you need, and then maybe your partner doesn't, and it's like you're walking on eggshells, and that doesn't get anybody anywhere, right? The next card you have is your outcome of the month, and you have Fool, which is excellent because that's, you know, the very beginning of the arcana, of the major arcana. So it's all about potential. It's all about fearlessness and having that footloose and fancy-free feeling. And you can do anything, and you can find anything, and you can manifest anything. And so I'll start with reconciliation. If you're looking to reconcile, I think that if you do get open and honest and you look at things like there is hope and inspiration, but you know that there's work ahead. If you want to be with that person and they want to be with you, then I think there's major potential here. And it almost is like a new beginning, because that is the start over the major arcana. So the start over the whole tarot cycle, right? And I really think that it could be different for some of you. You could make it happen. You could find what you're looking for. Maybe you just needed time, and you gave it time, and now you're going to come out of it. But again, I mean, everything's been all over the place. You know, if they have like addictions or something, it may be different. Or if, you know, there's a lot of jealousy involved. It could just be that, you know, maybe you were like, hey, I need some time off, and they got kind of jealous and crazy. And coming into September, it seems like it's a little like, but then at the end of September, it's smoothing out. And same thing for singles. If you're singles, it's a new beginning. I think you may just ride this month out, footloose, fancy free. Again, I feel like some ups and downs, some ebbing and flowing, and, you know, potential for a little bit of craziness. But at the end, it's like a new beginning. And I think that's one of the best cards to have when it comes to your birthday, right? Because a lot of people start going, I'm not getting any younger. What do I want to do? What decisions do I want to make? And I think that that's the perfect ending to your birthday month, because it's like an ending to a vicious cycle, and now you're going to begin again, and you're going to date people you want to date, and you're going to take it easy, and you're going to almost be back into comfortable Virgo, because this month almost seems like you're going to be like out of your comfort zone in a lot of aspects. And I think at the end of the month, you're going to feel like, oh, I'm back. Like, I'm good. I know what I want. I'm going to take it easy. And if you aren't sure if you want to date or not, you may just decide, well, I don't know. I get the feeling most of you are still going to date, but you may decide to take some time off. Or if you've been taking time off because you don't give a crap, like I said, or you've just been doing the lust thing or whatnot, I think you may, you know, start looking again, start dating again, right? So, all right, I'm going to pull 2 cards really quick out of my regular deck of cards, because I want to clarify your position coming into September and your distant future. So, and that may just be perfect because, I had quite a few pop out. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take this. Ooh, and you got 2 kings. You got the King of Clubs and the King of Spades. So the King of Spades on the Devil, very interesting. So going to your, you know, how you're coming into the month, the King of Spades is like, it's very interesting because it's the opposite of the Devil. This person's very ethical. So either you're going to be the more ethical person if you're looking to reconcile and your ex is being the Devil, or vice versa. I really think if you're looking to reconcile, like, one of you is playing the Devil and one of you is playing the Devil's advocate, and one of you is playing like the angel. So it's almost like a devil angel situation. So be careful of that if you're looking to reconcile, because that can get dramatic pretty quick. If you're single, this is introspective. This is looking inside yourself. And like I said with the Judgment card, I think you'll be judging people you're dating, but you'll also be judging yourself. So this kind of makes me feel better about the Devil, because it doesn't feel so much as like vice driven or addiction driven, more like communicating better. So the King is almost saying like that this Devil could be the people you're meeting and could be a temptation, but that you're going to be looking inside yourself and judging yourself and that person and how you feel with them, how they make you feel, you know, and their behaviors and your behaviors with them and stuff. So it's very interesting. Maybe some of you have started dating a few people and you don't feel like yourself, or you don't feel good around them, and they're not necessarily very good people. And then to clarify your distant future over the next few months, you have the King of Clubs, and the King of Clubs is like charismatic and very creative, but also a little bit forceful. So that it's basically can be earth energy, but that tells me that I really think you're going to be, I don't want to say creative in your love life, if that makes sense, but you're going to do things different. I really think that this Fool is going to come into play, and you're going to change it up, and you're going to be like, okay, this is what I want, and I know what I want, but like, how do I get there? And how do I make it happen? You're going to be charismatic, which, you know, you're going to be charming, but not deceitful. And I feel like some of you have kind of like not led people. Yeah, led people on. I feel like some of you have led some people on. And like because I don't know, it was better to be with somebody than not with anybody. And I feel like that you're going to realize that like you're going to be looking at your own character, if that makes sense. It makes sense. You're going to be, you're going to be entrepreneurial, but almost like entrepreneurial in the dating world. Like, you're going to figure something out. You're going to find something new. You're going to figure out something about yourself and something about different people and how you put things out in the universe. And you're going to make choices. And I think you're going to make very positive choices. But again, I think it's about balance and patience to get there. If you're looking to reconcile, this is hot-tempered and forceful. So if you're looking to reconcile, I think that it is possible for some of you, but you're going to have to be very careful about how you approach the situation and how you come across. Because I feel like you are walking on eggshells with somebody, and there's a deep connection. It's like almost like you're bonded together, right? But you just can't quite get on the same page. So I think you're going to have to pay attention to your behavior and their behavior, and you guys might have to tiptoe around each other a little bit longer to get what you want. So we'll see. All right, Virgo, happy birthday. Hope you have a great month. See you next month.